Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where we bring you the latest and most intense updates about Sheikh Hamdan and his family. If you are new here and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe now and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any important update. In my last video, now let's move on to your topic. Sheikh Hamdan is coming to your country. The news moved like a whisper that turned into a storm. At first, it was only a rumor shared between friends, then a headline flashing across phone screens, and finally an announcement that made hearts beat faster. Sheikh Hamdan was coming to your country. Streets felt brighter, conversations felt lighter, and even the air carried a strange excitement, as if something meaningful was about to unfold. For many, his name was more than fame or royalty. It symbolized hope, inspiration, and quiet strength. People spoke about his humility, his love for his people, his courage, and the way he carried responsibility with grace. Some admired him from afar through pictures and speeches. Others felt connected to his words that often touched the soul. Now, the idea that he would walk the same streets, breathe the same air, and see the same skies created a feeling that was almost unreal. You found yourself thinking about him more than usual. Every update made your heart race a little faster. The city slowly transformed, banners rising, lights being fixed, security teams preparing, and citizens buzzing with anticipation. Cafes were filled with conversations about his arrival. Families discussed where they might catch a glimpse of him, and social media overflowed with excitement. It felt like the entire nation was holding its breath. On the day of his arrival, the sky was clear and bright, as if nature itself wanted to welcome him. Roads were lined with people waving flags, smiling, and recording memories on their phones. Children sat on their parents' shoulders, eyes wide with wonder. Elders watched with pride and curiosity. The sound of cheers grew louder as the convoy approached, and in that moment, time seemed to slow down. When Sheikh Hamdan finally appeared, calm and composed, a gentle smile on his face, the crowd erupted in joy. His presence carried a quiet power, not loud or overwhelming, but warm and reassuring. He waved, acknowledging the people with respect and kindness. For a brief second, it felt like the world became smaller, as if distance between leader and people disappeared. As he moved through the city, visiting important places, meeting officials, and greeting citizens, stories began to spread. Someone said he stopped to speak with a young student and encouraged him to dream big. Another shared how he listened patiently to an elderly man's words. These small moments touched hearts more deeply than grand speeches ever could. It reminded everyone that true leadership lives in humility and compassion. Later, as evening lights painted the streets with golden glow, A special event was held in his honor. Music played softly, cultural performances filled the air, and the atmosphere was rich with unity and pride. Sheikh Hamdan spoke calmly, his voice steady and sincere. He spoke about friendship between nations, about hope for the future, about standing together in difficult times and celebrating together in joyful ones. His words felt like a promise carried by the wind. You listened, feeling something awaken inside your heart. It wasn't just admiration, it was inspiration. His journey, his discipline, his kindness, and his sense of purpose stirred something deep within you. You realized that greatness was not only about power or status, but about character, patience, and service to others. As the night ended and people slowly returned home, the excitement didn't fade. Instead, it settled quietly in everyone's hearts like a beautiful memory. Conversations continued late into the night, replaying every moment, every smile, every word. Photos were shared, stories were told, and smiles lingered long after the lights dimmed. In the days that followed, the city felt different. People walked with a little more confidence, spoke with a little more hope, and dreamed with a little more courage. Sheikh Hamdan's visit became more than just an event. It became a reminder that inspiration can arrive in many forms, sometimes through a single visit that leaves a lasting mark on thousands of lives. And somewhere within you, a quiet belief grew stronger that moments like these are not just memories, but gentle pushes from destiny, reminding us to believe, to strive, and to become better versions of ourselves. The morning after his visit felt strangely calm, yet the calm was filled with a soft echo of everything that had happened. The city woke up slowly, sunlight touching rooftops and windows as if trying to remind everyone that yesterday was real, not a dream. Newspapers carried his photograph on the front page. Children talked about seeing him. Stars witness vows. Moon listens quietly. Lanterns float wishes. River reflects lights. City glows magic. Skyscrapers bow respectfully. Waves applaud rhythm. Sand remembers footsteps. Wind carries prayers. Birds circle joyfully. Children wave flags. Old hearts soften. Young hearts race. Every eye shines. Every soul smiles. The moment becomes legend. Story travels oceans. Screens light worldwide. Voices repeat names. Fazza echoes everywhere. Dubai becomes dream. Love conquers distance. Hope renews humanity. Faith strengthens bonds. Harmony embraces nations. Cultures blend colors. Music bridges worlds. Smiles translate emotions. Tears speak truth. Hands join unity. Hearts share rhythm. Breaths align softly. Dreams synchronize beautifully. Future feels bright. Tomorrow feels closer. Promises feel eternal. Time bows humbly. Memories carve forever. History turns page. Legend starts breathing. Poetry walks living. Love crowns royalty. Royalty honors. love. Humility shapes power. Kindness defines strength. Grace guides leadership. Service blesses people. Respect grows roots. Trust builds bridges. Peace lights pathways. Unity guards future. Joy feeds courage. Faith anchors souls. Hope lifts wings. Dreams chase horizons. Stars guide travelers. Moon guards lovers. Sun blesses mornings. Night whispers prayers. Silence holds meaning. Music heals wounds. Smiles erase fears. Love softens storms. Patience calms fires. Wisdom guides choices. Honor shapes destiny. Truth protects crowns. Mercy crowns kings. Justice steadies thrones. Compassion feeds nations. Kindness heals generations. Legacy seeds forests. Roots drink blessings. Branches shelter dreams. Leaves sing stories. Winds spread fragrance. Rain seals promises. Earth nurtures hope. Sky protects dreams. Light defeats shadows. Love defeats darkness. Faith defeats doubt. Peace defeats fear. Unity defeats division. Truth defeats lies. Hope defeats despair. Joy defeats sorrow. Patience defeats anger. Wisdom defeats chaos. Grace defeats pride. Humility defeats ego. Service defeats greed. Respect defeats hatred. Forgiveness heals scars. Trust rebuilds bridges. Time mends wounds. Prayer strengthens spirits. Silence teaches listening. Listening grows understanding. Understanding births harmony. Harmony nurtures peace. Peace guards hearts. Hearts guard love. Love guards humanity. Humanity guards future. Future thanks today. Today honors love. Love crowns Fazza. Fazza honors people. People bless union. Union strengthens nation. Nation inspires world. World remembers story. Story lives forever. Morning glows softly. Golden breeze whispers. City hums gently. Anticipation rises everywhere. Balconies shimmer sunlight. Windows mirror dreams. Roads wear elegance. Flowers perfume air. Birdsong stitches silence. Hearts lean forward. Eyes search wonder. Fazza breathes calmly. Confidence wraps grace. Steps measure destiny. Shadow follows loyalty. Walls echo prayers. Domes kiss heavens. Minarets sing blessings. Carpets flow rivers. Guests arrive, smiling. Silks paint movement. Jewels blink starlight. Perfumes tell stories. Hands exchange warmth. Voices soften respect. Laughter blooms lightly. Children chase giggles. Elders share wisdom. Memories travel generations. Cameras blink stars. Moments freeze forever. Smiles hold eternity. Love floats invisible. Hope walks barefoot. Dreams stretch horizons. Faith anchors courage. Patience shapes victory. Gentleness guards power. Humility crowns honor. Strength kneels kindness. Leadership breathes service. Service feeds dignity. Dignity births loyalty. He stood alone near the tall glass balcony, his hands resting on the cold marble railing. his eyes searching the horizon for something he already knew would not return. Tears were not strangers to pain, but they were strangers to him. A man trained to lead, to carry dignity like a crown upon his soul, had learned to hide emotions behind discipline and silence. Yet today, the weight of memories was stronger than every rule he had ever obeyed. His breath trembled as the past unfolded inside his mind like a storm he could no longer control. He remembered her voice the most, soft, steady, filled with warmth that made the world feel human instead of royal. She had spoken to him not as a prince, not as a symbol of power, but as a man who needed understanding. In her presence, titles disappeared, walls collapsed, and his heart learned how to rest. She had brought light into spaces that power could never illuminate. She had seen the part of him that no crown could protect. The last conversation replayed endlessly in his thoughts, words that were never meant to become final, a silence that stretched longer than it should have, a goodbye that neither of them believed would truly be the last. Fate, however, had its own cruel handwriting, and it wrote separation where love had planned eternity. His fingers tightened as a tear escaped his eyes and fell against the marble floor, disappearing instantly, yet leaving a deeper mark inside his chest. He did not cry for weakness. He cried for love that had no place to return to. He cried for mornings that would no longer begin with her messages, for evenings that would no longer carry her laughter, for dreams that would now remain unfinished chapters in his heart. Every corner of the palace reminded him of her presence. The garden bench where they once spoke under moonlight, the hallway where their footsteps walked side by side in silence, the window where she once stood watching the city lights with wonder in her eyes. Even the air felt different without her, thinner, colder, less alive. He tried to remain strong in front of the world, the cameras, the people, the responsibilities demanded composure. But behind closed doors, the prince became simply a man who had loved deeply and lost painfully. His tears were quiet, dignified, heavy with unspoken prayers. Each tear carried a memory, a promise, a moment that could never be repeated. He questioned destiny silently. Why allow hearts to meet if they were meant to separate so cruelly? Why teach love so beautifully if it would be taken so suddenly? Yet somewhere within the ache, gratitude existed. Gratitude for having known a love so pure that even loss could not erase its beauty. As the call to prayer echoed across the city, his breathing slowly steadied. He closed his eyes and whispered a prayer not for himself, but for her peace, wherever she now belonged. Love, he realized, does not end with absence. It transforms into memory, into silent loyalty, into a permanent place within the soul. Sheikh Hamdan wiped his tears gently, not to hide them, but to honor the strength they represented. He stood taller, not because the pain vanished, but because love had taught him resilience.